What's happening? This is the Tap In podcast. We are live inside of the Tap In studio. And I got a special episode today. This has been a hot topic in I guess in society, you know what I mean? And so we had to bring somebody that's a professional that can speak to it. So we brought Miss Nikki in the building. How you doing, Nikki?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm real good.
Good.
Man, so I know this mental health thing is a big thing or a big topic in the news and everybody's talking about it.
It is.
And you are a licensed therapist, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Psychotherapist.
Psychotherapist?
Mm-hmm.
Now, exactly explain what is that? What is a psychotherapist?
Well, psychotherapist is someone that works with people and helps them manage their mental health. So if they have any challenges or any roadblocks, you know, if they're dealing with anxiety, stress, depression, anything like that, then it's my job to help find tools and strategies so that the people can live healthier and happier.
Okay.
And, you know, manage their mental health. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It has I guess this, and I'm new to all this, right?
Okay.
So has mental health been like a big thing before it's been talked about in the news?
I think it has been, but, you know, it just depends on the environment, how you were raised and so forth. I think in the Black community, it was always one of those taboo subjects. You know, people didn't really necessarily embrace that because of our culture. But now it's, you know, more open. People are more open to accepting the fact that we all have challenges that we experience and, you know, things that we need to manage, you know, just so we can be more productive and more successful in life. So
yeah.
Now, especially with everything with the pandemic and COVID, you know, it's just people are ready more than ever to embrace it.
Yeah, because I don't remember being a kid and even thinking about my mental health.
No.
Like it wasn't back when I was a kid. It was like if you had some mental problems, you was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like
yes,
it was
like
like
lots
you
of
just,
stigmas.
Yeah,
Lots of stigmas.
man. So how did you get into? I want to go back. How did you get into therapy or start being a therapist? Yeah.
Well, you know, it's interesting because a lot of people will say that if you're a counselor, you know, psychologist, psychiatrist, a lot of us, you know, that are in that profession, we want to heal ourselves. You know, so we, you know, there's a need there, and then we start studying and on the search and journey to heal ourselves, and then in the process, we end up, you know, forming a career of it. And so that's exactly what happened for me. You know, didn't have my dad in my life, you know, until I was like 15. And so because of that, you know, I had some daddy issues, some rejection issues, and, you know, I started going to counseling actually when I was in college.
Really?
And yeah, just because I was so interested and intrigued about how to manage my mental health better, you know, how to think better, how to be more productive. And so from there, I was in education for many years, and simultaneously, I went back to school to get my degree in professional counseling. And, you know, just started working in some private practices for a little bit, and now I'm full-time. So,
okay. Yeah,
it's been a while. It's been over 10 years now that I've been practicing.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Why does more Black people not go to therapy? Can you see like a common thread why Black people don't go?
Well, I believe that because a lot of times when we're raised, it's told to us to keep everything in the house, right? So we're not really taught to open up about, you know, issues that we're having or how we're feeling. It's just like, you know, deal with it, don't cry, you know, figure it out, go play some sports, you know.
Yeah.
Go find a boyfriend or girlfriend to take the place of, you know, what you need to do within yourself. And so I just think that there's been some resistance there because we're just culturally we haven't always done that. We've kept a lot in. And so now to tell somebody what you're experiencing, you know, talking about your past, you know, especially if you have mommy issues or daddy issues, you know, sometimes there's some shame and blame that go with that. So now it's time more than ever, though. You know, I really want to help my community of, you know, our culture to really embrace it and get active in their own mental health journey. So,
do you think that that stems from like slavery or something, where it's been taught to the Black community not to to talk about stuff that goes on in the house?
Oh, absolutely. I feel like there's definitely some truth to that, because, everything they weren't allowed to really express what they were experiencing, and if they did, it was, just very quietly, and not where everybody could hear. So, of course, that's just how our culture is.
And I think the government being in your business in the black community is never a good,
right,
a good idea.
Wait a minute, it's going to be a record of this?
Yeah.
Who's going to see these notes?
Right. We don't want to, because us and the government ain't had a good relationship. Black
right,
people, so
right.
That we kind of like, we don't know, because once we start, I remember as a kid, and this is kind of a little off the topic, but I remember as a kid telling my counselor something. Like, I went to the nurse and I was like, yeah, I fell or I got hit or I got a spanking or something. Next thing you know, they investigate my house and my mom like, oh, right. Yeah, I ain't telling them shit no more. You know what I mean?
Well, it's a trust thing, right? It's like, who do you trust? And so often we can't go to family members sometimes because they're going to tell it all. So we'll go to a trusted friend or a boyfriend, girlfriend, and what happens when those relationships come to an end, then you have to worry about that. So, I mean, if anything, if our brothers and sisters are in crisis or they need somebody to talk to, you go to somebody that's a professional, it's a safe space, that they're going to abide by, the rules and regulations to make sure that your information is secure, versus going to somebody that's familiar, that may not give you that real truth that you need.
Yeah. And I always thought counseling was expensive.
Yeah.
Like, to go talk to somebody, like, how much you want?
Right.
You know what I mean? But now I found out that a lot of times it's covered under, like, your benefits.
Yeah, it's under insurance.
Yeah, where you can actually have your insurance. Since you're paying for it, you might as well, go and talk to somebody.
Yeah, I have a lot of clients and patients that use their insurance, and then I have some that are self-pay, and if they're self-pay and they don't have insurance, then of course I drop the price so it's more affordable.
Okay.
And I'm in the process of getting approved for care credit as well, so that I have several different options for people to work with me.
Okay.
Because I realize that there's a need there, and with my brand and business, I'm about to roll out a new program, a 6-week program that'll be completely free. And it'll be a sign-up thing. They have to, email me, and it'll be on social media. But, it's not about the money for me. I know that there's such a need right now. People are really struggling, with grief and anxiety and depression and stress, which is what I specialize in. And I just want to be, of help in any way that I can.
Okay. How do people get a hold of you? Like, if they hearing that, they want to, like, I want to get in contact with them now.
Yeah. They can. Nikki Speaks I'm on Instagram. I run my business off Instagram.
Okay.
So, Nikki, Nikki, period, speaks, just like, I'm speaking.
Okay.
With S on the end.
Okay. All right.
Then they can just message me. I also have a website, which is nikkispeakstherapy.com. Just how it sounds, Nikki with 2 Ks.
Okay.
And they just message me on there, email me, and I'll get in contact with them.
And that is not worldwide, but like wherever they are in the world, they can reach out to you and get some therapy?
Yes. So here's the thing. So I have to be licensed in the state. I'm only licensed in the state of Texas. I'm in the process of getting licensed in other states.
Okay.
So what I do in the meantime is that if they want to work with me outside of Texas, then I do coaching, which is essentially the same thing. It's just we don't deal with the in-depth issues. Like if you have past traumas and things like that, then of course I'll refer you out to somebody in your local area that can help you.
Okay.
Yeah, but they can. I mean, I want them all. So coaching, counseling, whichever way they want to receive my services.
I heard that. Are you signed up on an app where people can reach out to you from the app?
Yes. So I'm on with BetterHelp, which is all over Instagram. It's the number one, I believe, telehealth service that's on an app right now for mental health. And so I've been on there for I'm going on my 2nd year there.
Okay.
And so it's really good because I've been able to work with people out of the country. Like I've worked with Canada is probably about 85% of my clients. And it's just because Canada, compared to the U.S., there's no comparison. Like, they are really on fire about their mental health. Like, they don't, men, women, all ages, they reach out. And I just wish that, our community would get to that point where they were that aggressive about it.
Yeah.
And it's all different issues, you know, a lot of different issues.
What are some, I guess, some tools that people that are dealing with grief or dealing with some things, if they don't have access, or if they in the moment, what are some tools that they could do to kind of start, I guess, that healing process?
Mm-hmm. Well, they have to, first of all, acknowledge what's going on, you know, in their body, and realize that, you know, for me, I tell the people I work with, if you go along this journey with me, you're going to be very familiar with your thoughts, the way that you act, you know, and what you're motivated by, you know, what your whys are and all of that. And so what I do first is I have them really focus on what is it that is my issue? You know, what am I constantly thinking about? I do a lot of brain research. And so what I found is there was a Canada research project about 2 years ago, and they found out that we have over 6,000 thoughts a day. Your brain, my brain, everybody's brain.
Goodness.
Over 6,000 thoughts a day. And they found out that 85 to 95% of those thoughts are negative and repetitive.
Hold on, you said 65 to what?
85 to 95% of your thoughts, my thoughts, everybody's thoughts, every single day are negative and repetitive. So,
85.
So what do you think we need to do to feel better? We've got to think better. You know, we have to take the steps necessary to think better. So how can we do that? We have to be more aware of what we're thinking. So you have to slow yourself down. And I asked the people I work with, I said, okay, first of all, the minute you wake up, you know you're going to be hit with some negative thoughts. I mean, that's just, percentages don't lie.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you combat those? How do you deal with those? You know, subconsciously you're thinking about things even when you don't think you're thinking. Well, you ask yourself this question: what am I thinking? Is the first question.
What am I thinking?
Okay, so I'm thinking something negative. Okay, second question: why am I thinking that? Well, I'm thinking that because I'm worried. I'm thinking that because I'm stressed. I'm thinking that because I'm anxious. I'm thinking that because I'm depressed. Okay, so now I know that. Do I want to be thinking that way? Well, no, I don't want to be thinking that way because I can't get out of the bed right now, you know, or I'm so depressed that I'm having, you know, side relationships and all this other stuff because I'm just seeking some way to relieve the pain. So we answer that question: no, I don't want to think that way. So then the next question would be, so how do I want to think differently? What is a better way to think? So that the next time those thoughts come up, you already have something in place that you can say to yourself or think to reframe that thought, to combat that thought, and to send it back on the other side. It's like, no, I don't receive that. You know, with COVID going on and the pandemic going on, a lot of people are very stressed and worried about their health. Every morning you're faced with that because globally we're all experiencing that. So what do you say? Do you wake up and say, oh, I have COVID, I'm gonna get COVID. If I go out today, I'm vaccinated, I'm not vaccinated, I'm afraid. You know, it's just a lot of fear right now that we're navigating. So you have to literally be strategic about your thoughts. I mean, in the mornings, I'm like, affirmations. I'm saying, okay, this is who I am. And it's not every day, you know, so I'm not perfect, you know, and I tell my clients and patients that too. But what I think I'm better at, because I have more experience in doing it, is I can manage my thoughts with, okay, do I want to accept that thought? Oh, I feel like I'm going to die. Do I want to accept that thought, or do I want to believe, no, I'm going to be okay, and this is why. This is what I'm going to do intentionally today to make sure that I'm okay. Well, I'm going to drink my water. I'm going to make sure I'm eating good. I'm going to make sure I go to the gym. I'm going to make sure I dance and do cardio, you know.
Yeah.
And so it's like literally having a conversation with yourself so that you don't accept these thoughts as the norm. You know, so many people are dealing with depression. You know, what is depression? It's just you not being able to move forward. And a lot of times, and I want to talk to our people because a lot of times we stay in the past zip code. Like, we're looking back, we're like, okay, I shoulda, woulda, coulda, which is a cognitive distortion. Anytime you say should have, would have, could have, you're looking in the past, regretting something, shaming something, fearing something, looking at a failure, and how's that going to help you?
Right. Yeah.
So one of the things, sorry, I got to say one more thing.
No, go ahead. No, I'm loving this. I'm just agreeing. I'm thinking about what you're saying. I'm just agreeing.
So one of the things I ask my clients and patients to focus on is like, okay, I don't receive that. I'm going to go to the past. If I'm going to look in the background, in the rearview mirror, I'm going to look for the lessons. What did I learn? Yeah, that was a horrible situation. but I got through it. So what did I learn? What am I grateful for? Well, I'm grateful for the fact that I just made it through. Maybe that's the only thing you can be grateful for. Well, that's great. You move forward with that. Yeah, that was a horrible relationship. Yeah, that was a horrible job. Yeah, that was a horrible experience. Yes, I did this. I did that. What did I learn from it? How did I grow? How can I become better? So, sorry, I'm a little passionate.
No, I love it. I love it. This is what I do this for. Yeah, I love that. Man,
don't get me started.
No, I want you to start. I want you
okay,
to start.
Did.
Yeah, I want you to start. Man, and while you were talking and while you was telling how people deal with it, what I'm thinking of is I'm thinking about your mental health. Like people piling all their issues and problems on you. Like,
yes.
How do you deal with that?
So you will find me on an airplane.
Okay.
Once a month going somewhere because I have to release. I have to release because I don't want to keep pounding other people's things on top of what, because I'm human as well. Because if I do that, then that's going to be toxic what I deliver. So, and I had to learn that the hard way. So I have to do my inner work like 100 times more than the people that I work with, because I know that when they come to me, they're expecting me to be a clean slate for them and be able to pour into their lives in the areas that they need it. So I go on a trip once a month. I do body work. So I go and I get a massage. And sometimes it's a holistic massage, What else do I do? Get my nails done, get my hair done, those types of things. Just pamper myself. Just lots of different things. I work out. I believe in dancing. So dancing helps you, dance therapy, it helps you release a lot of the emotions that we carry in our body that are housed in the body. So I dance very regularly. I do salsa. I just joined a swing out community, where we're doing swing out dancing and stuff. So, it takes a lot. Everything that I ask the people I work with to do, I try to do as well. I journal. And journaling is huge. So I know sometimes men and women are opposed to it because it's like one more thing you have to do. It's like, okay, let me put it in my phone. Let me keep it here. No, you have to a lot of times get that out. So if you're suffering from grief, you've lost someone or lost a relationship or lost a job or lost something of impact, then you want to be able to express yourself in a journal. And then when you do that, you get it out. I call it brain dumping. Then you also want to be able to reframe that. And like I said earlier, what did I learn? How did I grow? How have I become better? And what am I grateful for? So you can even do that and apply that if you've lost someone. What was the lesson I learned? Well, I learned that time is of the essence, and it's very valuable. So maybe my lesson was, since I'm still here, I'm still alive, I'm going to pour into the lives, my children's lives, my family's lives, and help them because I know one day I'll be gone, and I want my legacy to live on.
Yeah, man. And because I know, I'm sorry, I know a couple of my comedian friends have just experienced losses like back to back, and I'm just like, man, I don't even have the words to even say. Only thing and last time I talked to the therapist that came on here, and she was like the simplest and easiest thing that you could say to somebody who's lost somebody is, hey, I'm here, I'm praying for you.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just let them know, I know you're going through a rough time right now, and I don't want to push you, and I don't want to ask you, a bunch of questions or, guess, because you really are guessing, what the person needs. So I want you to know that if you need me, I'm here. If you just need somebody to listen, sometimes people just want people to listen. You just need somebody to hear you out so you can express your hurt, your disappointment, your pain, then I'm here for you. If you need somebody to talk to you, then I may not say the right things, but I will, definitely converse with you and help support you in any way that I can. Because people just want to know you're there.
Yeah.
A lot of times what will happen is I went through a divorce after being married for over 20 years. And, I noticed that people were kind of, pushed back. They weren't really talking to me as much or whatever. And at first I took it personally because, I'm going through one of the roughest times of my life. But then I realized what they were doing is that they didn't have the words to say. So a lot of times when you go through grief or loss, you have this expectation. It's unspoken, but you have an expectation for somebody to be able to say what you need to hear and to do the things that you need, and that's unfair. You know, if you need the help, then share it. You know, you have to be vulnerable to share it, obviously, but share it, and then with no expectations of what their response is going to be. You know, it's just that making that decision. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And then also I found out that you were the first franchisee of Inceptions.
Yes.
Okay, now explain to the people what is Inceptions.
Okay, so
Inception, right?
Inception is the first Black-owned and first ever mental health gym. So how I started on that journey is when I was going through my divorce. You know, I'm a woman of faith, and so I was crying out to God, and I was like, Lord, I just need something else. As a therapist, even with my background in training, I knew that I needed more than what I was doing. I mean, I was going to church, you know, seeing the pastor, all these different things to just manage it. But I needed something else. And so I was on Instagram of all places and ended up, you know, looking at, and I was just on the Explore page, and a guy named David McCullough was on there, and he was talking about his mental health gym. So I listened to what he had to say, and it really resonated with me. Can't even remember what it was, but I remember I reached out to him. And I didn't even have an expectation of him responding. I said, you know what, I'm just going to move forward and just ask him if he can help me or if he knows if this would help me. And that's exactly what I said. I said, hey, I'm a therapist. I'm going through this. I was like, you know, I really want to try your gym, and do you think it'll help me? And he's like, oh, yeah, let's get on the phone. I know it will. So he responded to me. I picked up the phone, called him, and told him my whole story. And I'm just like laying it on thick, right? I'm just crying and doing all that stuff. And he's a brother, of course. And so he's listening to me. And so I finished, and I'm just like, you know, waiting for the drum roll. Like, he's really going to say something. And he's like, that's a good story. He goes, let's come out to Michigan. Let's get you healed. And so I was like, no black man had ever said that.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I told my kids, I have 3. And they're all in college, but I told them, I said, I'm going to Michigan. I'm going to Detroit. And they were like, you going where? Like,
yeah.
I said, they're like, Mom. I mean, because I'm all of 5 foot, right? a buck something. And so anyway, I was like, I'm going to get my healing. You know, I prayed. I asked God to show me, you know, where the answers were to my healing, what I need to do. Got on a plane, flew all the way to Michigan, got the nearest Airbnb, walked into Inception like, this is my hospital, like, let's get it started.
Yeah.
And when I walked in, I knew, like, I felt it throughout my body. I said, you know what, I'm about to get my healing. And I had something called neurofeedback, which is a 33-minute service that I offer at an office in Dallas. And anyway, it's actually your brain. It helps reprogram your brain to the point that you're able to manage your thoughts better, manage whatever comes up in session. You're just listening to meditation music, but the technology talks to your brain in real time and mirrors your brain. So it's able to show your brain what it's doing, what it's thinking, and then you have this internal thing going on, a healing that happens, and it's asking your brain is basically looking at itself saying, okay, do I want to think that way? Do I want to act that way? And it literally will rewire a lot of the things that we have going on, past traumas. Like, I've had people wake up from it. If they go to sleep, not everybody goes to sleep, but they'll notice the impact immediately. And so when I went there, I hadn't been sleeping. I was very stressed, very depressed, and very anxious. The minute I did that, I woke up, because I did fall asleep. I hadn't been sleeping well. And when I woke up, I said, I don't know what this is, but I want to be a part of it. I said, I want in. And so I talked to David, who, you know, is a CEO, and his mom runs the business with him. And she's, you know, CFO. And so anyway, I talked to both of them, and I was like, I don't know what this is, but I'm moving to LA. And I was like, I wish y'all had a business out there like this. And so he was like, well, you know, people talk about it all the time. He said, maybe you'll be the first franchise owner. And so I was like, oh, he's so nice. You know? I was like, he's just saying that. You know?
Yeah.
I went home, came back to Texas. I was staying with my parents at the time in transition. And I told them I was so excited because when I woke up, I felt like, I told them, I said, I feel like $1 million. Like, I felt lighter. Like, I told myself, I said, you know what? I've been going through a lot. I was like, but I'm going to be okay. It was able to allow me to mirror, my brain mirrored itself, and it showed me what I was doing and how I was in this toxic pattern of, what did I say earlier, the past.
Yeah.
I was in this loop
Yeah.
reviewing and, guilt and shame and why didn't it work and disappointment and I'm frustrated, and so many of us deal with that, right? So I was like, you know what, no more. Had that. He called me and said, when I was back in Texas, he said, we want to see if you want to move forward with it. And I said, absolutely. Moved to LA and got a spot off of Beverly Drive and opened up the franchise and started building momentum. I had, offered brain training there, and I had a counseling and coaching suite in the back. And it was doing good, but then the pandemic happened, and the governor there kept shutting us down and opening us back up. We weren't essential. We were essential, but they didn't know that.
Yeah, for real.
And so anyway, so I moved back here, and I'm building my brand again and starting over from scratch. So eventually I will open up again, I believe.
Okay.
But no pressure. I'm just everybody had to pivot in some way or another.
Yeah.
With the pandemic. So just proud of the story.
So
though.
I wanna go back. So this.
Yes.
Because I am so intrigued about this brain thing.
I should have brought it. I told Jazz
Is
I was
it
gonna
something
bring
portable
it.
that you can?
Oh yeah, I could have brought it in here.
Really?
Yeah. So you have me on again. I'll bring it in here and I'll hook you up and we can go live or whatever.
Shit, I don't know
And
if I
I
want everybody to know my thoughts.
Well, you can't see. Like I can't see. I'm be like, yeah, I see what happened. We need to fix that.
Yeah.
That's the thing I love about it. I'm a certified neurofeedback trainer, and I don't have to do anything. Like I love the fact that I can hook you up because there's sensors that are on your ears and your scalp, so the technology can work. But I hook you up and I walk out the room.
Really?
So it's literally your brain healing itself. It's you and you.
Okay.
So it's powerful.
And it's just things that hook up to your ears.
And you have headphones on.
Okay.
You're listening to music, and the technology is a psychologist out of Canada. He's the one that actually created it, and they have found it's been around for over 20 years.
Really?
Yeah, and so it has not been mainstreamed into our community, and that's what my hope and goal is. Because you're talking about hooking people up and their brains, and black people sometimes like, wait a minute.
Yeah, like what? Nah.
What you gonna do to me?
Right. And also, Charlamagne the God is a part of this, right?
He is. So what he did, so it's interesting. Same thing, Instagram. I'm like, okay, this is the business person's playground, right?
Yeah.
So David was on Instagram, and he kept tagging Charlamagne on different posts and stuff because, of course, he's into mental health. And then eventually Charlamagne said that he was looking on, I guess he had decided he wanted to look into like massage envies, but for mental health. So the same concept that David had already built. And he said, then all of a sudden he looked and he's like, who is this cat that keeps hitting me up, whatever. And he's like, oh, okay. So he looks him up and it's like looking at his profile. He goes, well, he's running something that I actually wanted and I just thought about. So he flew out there, had the brain training, neurofeedback that I'm talking about, and fell in love with it.
Really?
Fell in love with it, and invested, and eventually will open up his own. So, so he's actually been on shows and everything, been interviewed, and he'll mention Inception and mention the brain training specifically, because I think for me there's several different modalities though. So there's modalities or different strategies or tools that can be used, usually technology based, that can help you with your mental health to help manage that. And so David has, like at Inception in Michigan, if you have not been, you need to go because that's like the mother of them all, literally. But he's got a float spa, which helps with, mental health as well. He's got infrared sauna. He has a massage therapist that comes in. He's got a, what is it? It's a halo. It's like an oxygen booth. And I'm trying to make sure I got everything. Magnosphere is another one, the neurofeedback. And then there's a lymph suit. So with the lymph suit, you put that on, and it helps any inflammation that you have in your body. It helps decrease that. Because inflammation is like one of the things that causes disease. And so, it's a completely holistic approach to mental health, which I think is so... I just wanted to be a part of it, period, because I had never seen an African-American male or female, for that matter, in this space doing this.
Yeah.
And so it was so intriguing to me because I have the talk therapy part down. I'm able to talk to my clients and my patients and help them that way, but then to have extra tools that I can add to it instead of medication. If you need medication, no judgment. take it, for as long as you need it. But then there's also other things that you can do to also supplement or to better manage whatever it is that you're experiencing. So even stress, people do neurofeedback just for stress because they can't manage it.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was just about to ask you. Is it just for trauma?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Stress, anxiety, insomnia, even for people that are having trouble sleeping. A lot of times people have insomnia issues because they can't settle their mind. They can't calm it. And the thing I love about neurofeedback, it helps your body get back into that homeostasis. So the central nervous system, it helps to calm that and regulate that so that you're able to manage whatever you have going on. So think about it. If you're going through a divorce, something happened with COVID, with the pivot, with your job, and then you're having all these things stacked up on each other.
Mm-hmm.
The gym eventually is not going to just be the answer. And I know that that's what we do a lot of times. Oh, let me just go pump some more iron. But what happens when you're not at the gym?
Yeah.
How are you processing when you're not at the gym?
I don't.
Yeah. That question wasn't for you, but kind of was. Like, look.
I don't. I deal with it when I get to it. That's
right. And so that's what happens. And so we put it down. And I did it myself. And sometimes I do it. I have to check myself. But we just push it down. It's like, okay, I'll deal with that later. I got too much going on right now. I want to party. I want to.
Yes.
I want to be happy. I don't feel like crying today. And that's another thing that's huge. We have to allow ourselves to cry. Just don't stay there. Don't cry for a long time. It's a lie that we shouldn't cry. Don't cry, suck it up. Like, we got to stop telling our people that, and ourselves that. We have to stop doing that because that's your body. This is what I tell everybody I work with. If you feel like you're going to cry, why would you deny that? Because that's your body's way of saying, I'm ready to release this pain. And so you're going to say, no, not yet. I don't want to deal with you yet. But where's it going to go? It's still there.
Yeah. I know.
I'm sorry. I feel like I'm kind of preaching today.
No. I'm glad. Preach. We got we can pass it. We can pass around. So here's my thing. Because I know for me, it's hard for me to cry. It's like,
why?
I think because I've been programmed so much as a kid where it's just like crying is just a thing of weakness in my mind now. You know what I mean? So everything is, you just deal with it head on and just keep moving.
Yeah.
Where I don't even know if my tear ducts even work anymore. I'm so serious and I'm just like, I don't know if that.
Do you ever feel like you need to? Do you even have that feeling anymore?
No, because the way I deal with trauma and pain is I'll isolate myself, deal with it emotionally, get all my thoughts and whatever is going on.
No
with
tears
me.
come at that time?
No. I'll isolate myself, and then once I deal with it emotionally, like, damn, it's messed up and this is happening now, I wish this happened, and then once I finish that whole process, I'm like, all right, so now let me deal with what's right here in front of me. And, because I got to keep moving because I can't stay in this space, so I got to keep moving. And then eventually time will pass where it won't be so heavy or whatever I'm dealing with. You know what I mean?
Well, what you can do is do a tear check. So
how you do a tear check?
I want you to sit down with yourself and put on some meditation music or Hertz music, Hertz, just like the rental car. Play that, and I want you just to make a list of everything that has hurt you, disappointed you, frustrated you in your life, okay? And you look at that, and you think about it, you process it. How did I feel? What did I learn? How did I grow? How am I a better person?
I need to really think about that.
And if tears don't come up, wow, you scared?
No, because fortunately for me, I haven't had a whole bunch of trauma in my life.
Okay.
Fortunately for me, I haven't. Where, especially as a kid, I can't remember anything that was just damning. You know what I mean?
Have you lost anything that meant something to you? It doesn't have to be a person.
No.
Have you
I
not been
can't.
able to make a goal happen, accomplish something,
So
went through a hard disappointment?
I would say the only thing that I kind of go back and forth about being disappointed on is I was heavily I used to do stand-up comedy, right?
Okay.
So I would heavily really wanted to be in entertainment,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like, to me, I wish I would have continued that,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not like a thing where I'm like, I regret not doing it, because what I'm seeing now is a lot of my friends that's in entertainment and still in comedy,
Mm-hmm.
they just getting older and older. They don't have no kids. They don't have no family. And I'm just like, I would rather be where I'm at now versus be
Right.
chasing that whole entertainment thing
Right.
versus having my family. Like,
Right.
and
Right.
so when I think about where I'm at now and I look at some of my friends, I'm like, nah, I'd rather have my family
Mm-hmm.
and be doing what I'm doing now.
Right.
And
Well, everybody's different.
Yeah.
Everybody's different. But, if you ever do feel that you need to cry, then allow yourself to do that. Give yourself permission is what I share.
I
know.
cried 3 times that I remember in my life.
Okay. 3?
3 times.
You may be stopped up. No, I'm playing.
That I can remember. I cried my senior year when we lost in basketball. My last game, my high school. I cried then. It was a girl that I cheated on and in college, and she was like, she's done, and I cried then.
Okay.
And then
How did you process that one?
how did I process it?
You cried and then you did what? Went to the...
I was just like, damn, I messed this up.
Did you go to... Did you drink? Did you go to party? Did you
What did
go,
I do?
go to the gym?
What did I do? No, I cried, and then I was just like, let me see what I could do to get her back.
Oh, okay.
Then I went into that. All right, let me
Wow.
figure out what I could do to try to get her back at that time.
Okay.
But it didn't work, and so I was just like, you know what, fuck it, like, it's done. I'm like, all right, I tried. I'm sorry, I tried.
So when you said that part, that's probably where the tears were supposed to come. But when you said you cried a little bit, so
I
maybe
cried.
more.
I cried when she told me that she found out.
Oh, okay.
That's
then
when I
after
was
that,
like,
you was like, she ain't getting no more tears.
yeah, I was like, yeah, I can't do nothing else. I was like, oh well. And then another time, it's always the 2
It's
times.
always
that,
a female.
Yes, the 2 times that I cried.
I know, like all of us out here crying and
Man.
about some relationship.
And it was, and the crazy
Or
part.
lack thereof.
Yes. And the crazy part is, it was me this time letting her go.
and you crying?
Yes. A little sappy little.
Oh, come on now, 3 times, like
That was it. That's the only times that I remember, like, really crying. That I could just remember just right now thinking. I probably have to think about it. It's probably some more times.
Yeah. So those that don't cry like you, just as long as you're processing and you're not doing anything negative to cope. So negative, of course, is deciding, let me pick up a bottle. Let me go, do something hazardous to my health or somebody else's, just to get over this pain. So, and maybe if you sat with it and you thought about it, you may be able to come up with, okay, what are some things I did to get over that pain? Because that's pain. It's emotional pain that we deal with when we, have disappointments in relationships. So something was done to get past that. You didn't just wake up the next day and push a button and say, oh, I'm better. It was a process. So it's just what you did. And it might have been positive things. It might have been that you were working out more, going to the gym, playing sports or whatever to kind of get past that season.
I almost cried at my wedding.
Okay.
Almost.
Okay.
I was holding it.
That's a positive.
Yeah, I was holding it. I was like, don't let them see you cry.
Right.
I almost cried at my wedding. That was
Okay.
it. Yeah, that was it. Man. So, are you planning on, and I know you say you are doing it in Dallas, or are you going to take it back to LA?
Well, we'll see what the good Lord says.
Okay. Okay.
I'm open. I'm doing a lot of networking right now in LA and in Texas just to see where I land. Right now I have a therapy suite.
Okay.
So that's the one I have in Dallas that I just opened up, and so I'll be there once a week, and I'll be doing neurofeedback and also some coaching sessions, some different groups, and some counseling there as well. So I'm really excited about that venue because it's beautiful.
Where is it located at?
It's off of North Stemmons Freeway.
Okay.
And 10300, I think it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming.
North Central Expressway.
North Central. Okay.
let me say it again.
Okay.
I literally just did orientation this morning, so.
Okay. I'm definitely coming.
Yes, I
to
can do
get
neurofeedback.
Yes, I'm definitely
Yeah.
coming to get that, and I want my wife to do it too.
Yeah, and I have 2 units, so I can do you both at the same time,
Okay.
or back to back, or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm definitely
It's
coming
a
to do
game
that.
changer, and it's not like something you have to do forever. But if you feel like you want to try it to see if it resonates with you,
I want to build my brain stronger. Like that's what I
Yeah.
want. I wanted my brain to be strong because I was just on the way over here. I'm reading a book called Think and Grow Rich.
Oh my goodness! I just was listening to Napoleon Hill this morning.
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh! Anyway, go ahead.
Yes, I was reading that book, and last night the chapter I read, it was talking about auto-suggestion, about putting things that you write things down, and you're telling your brain, you're almost like tricking your subconscious mind. And so I was thinking, I was like, my mind is my superpower.
All of ours.
Yes. My mind is my superpower.
You can
Anything
have
I think
everything
of.
you
Yes.
want. Everything you want.
Yes.
May not be exactly the same, but it's gonna be close or better. Is what I say.
Yeah. Is that that neuro? What is it called?
It's neurolinguistic programming. So
Okay.
it's that repetition. Because what happens again is that your brain it's like a supercomputer. So you wake up in the morning, you have the negative thought, the anxious thought, the depressive thought right when you wake up, right? So after that thought, you'll have another thought that's just like it or similar, that's negative and depressive or whatever. Then next thing you know, you start imagining what this situation is going to be like in the negative, worst case scenario. Then after that, then a lot of times the brain will say, okay, how do you plan? How do you make, some adjustments so that this doesn't happen to you? How do you prepare for something, again, you don't want to have happen, but you're going on this journey that you've co-signed on your brain about. And it's like, okay, well, let me just think. That's why I say you have to slow yourself down and say, okay, what am I thinking about? Like, why am I thinking this? And so you have to do it in the opposite. So you have the negative thought. Oh, I'm gonna have a positive thought ready. Oh, I don't receive that. I don't believe that. That's not my journey. I believe that this is what's going to happen. I'm choosing to believe it, even if you don't know for sure. Because if you think about it, every situation has a 50-50 chance of either working out in the positive or negative. So you literally have to start programming your mind to only see the positive, because the way that we're wired. I'm sure you can think back in your life of many times that you've gone through something and you've been able to what? Find a way to deal with it and cope and get through it. So why on earth would you want to spend all these days thinking about what you don't want to have happen when it may not even happen that way? You've wasted all that time when you could have woke up that morning and said, you know what, I'm choosing to be grateful. I'm choosing to believe the best about my life. I'm choosing to reprogram these thoughts. I'm choosing to think and grow rich, have everything that I want. You know what I'm saying? Like, fill yourself with those possibilities. And if it doesn't happen, know that there's going to be a pivot there. You'll be able to deal with it when it comes.
Yes. Yeah.
But that book, Napoleon Hill, I've been playing him on YouTube.
Yes. Napoleon Hill was
him.
like, I don't know where he came from or what, but he is a monster.
Right.
He is a monster.
I was watching him in black and white
Yes.
this morning.
Yes.
And I'm like, and he's talking about stuff that we're talking about now. So it was like, the light bulb went on this morning for me, because I'm like, he was talking about gratitude in 18 whatever,
Yes. Yeah.
And he was talking about all this stuff, your mindset and making sure you're connected to people that are, at the same level or higher than you. Make sure your circle is sound, and I was just like, why aren't we doing it? And so what dawned on me is it's the repetition.
Mm-hmm.
It's the consistency that we're missing. Do the same thing every single, it may be boring. But is it going to be boring when you get the results you want?
Nope. No.
You're going to be like, yeah.
Yes. And you know who
Right.
put me onto that book?
Who?
A drug dealer.
What?
He
read the book?
Freeway Ricky Ross. He put me
Okay.
on to the book.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so it works across many different professions.
Let me
many
say
different career platforms.
Ex-drug dealer. Let me say that. Yes.
I know he probably like, hello, don't put me out there like that.
Yeah, man. How long you been listening to Napoleon? You just got onto him, or
No, years. I am a book nerd. Actually, I call myself a black nerd, so I'm a blurred. Yeah, I'm a blurred. I read a lot. I mean, I have all kinds of books. There's one that I love. It's called The Brain is Always Listening by Dr. Amen.
Okay.
So anybody, that'd be good for you. Anybody that wants to know more about their brain and how it functions, they can read that book. But I literally, I try to practice what I'm reading when it comes to thought management and, you know, all the brain research that I do, because, you know, I want my brain, like you, you know what I mean? I want it to be able to activate and produce and, you know, create and all those different things that I see for myself, and I, you know, therefore I can help other people too. It's not just about me or my kids or my family. It's about the people that I help.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, I want to change the subject just a little bit.
Okay.
Are you looking for another husband?
Yeah.
We're going to hook you up today, baby. We're going to get you hooked up today.
Not the husband question. Heck yeah. Look. Playing, not playing.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm checking applications at this moment, but yeah, I'm open to that.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah. I liked being married. It's just we couldn't get it together after so long, so
It
happened.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of wins and have 3 beautiful kids. I have twin daughters that are about to be 20, and I have a 21-year-old son's about to be 22. And yeah, so they're all in college doing their thing, and so if you're looking, look. Okay.
What
if
type?
you're looking, I don't have any responsibilities.
And she travel every month.
I travel every month, so come on, pack a bag, let's go.
What kind of guy are you looking for? Your ideal guy, down.
Ideal?
Yes, ideal.
So I'm not one that cares about, I mean, I love my people, so black is my preference, but I'm open to, you know, all nations.
Okay.
As long as they are honest and true and kind of in alignment. So someone that's going to help me, and doesn't have to help me financially or anything like that, but just be a support, you know, with where I see myself growing to. And, you know, for our visions to be in alignment, and maybe we can help each other and be a piece to our puzzle that's possibly missing. And I like to talk a lot. I like to read a lot. So somebody that's going to listen to all my dreams and visions and tell me when to be quiet and when to go ahead. It's like, okay, can't do that right now. Like, you know, but and somebody fun. Like, I love to dance. I love to live life. High energy. I'm not always high energy, but that's how I choose to show up. Okay. And so, you know, somebody like that. You know somebody? Look.
No, I don't. But I don't know who be watching this. It be,
right.
Be all kind of people watching this. So,
right.
Can 2 therapists be in a relationship together?
I've never tried that, but I think it would be, we probably would outsmart each other.
Yes.
We would. But that's another thing. Oh, I can't have anybody that loves to argue, that's not willing. If you say to me, when we're talking, it's like, oh, I ain't never been to therapy, I don't need a therapist. It's okay if you've never been, because, you know, it takes some time. But if you say I'm never going, like I'm fixed, I'm good, I don't have a problem, then no.
Yeah.
Because we all have something.
Right.
You know, we all have something.
And it's good to just talk to people. You know what I mean? That connection.
Yeah.
So it's good. And I know most black men, we don't really like to talk about our inner issues or any emotions. So
right. And sometimes it's not long. You know, you can be with somebody for a month, a week, 2 weeks, a couple sessions or whatever. But somebody that's completely opposed to it, I mean, that's opposed to the profession I've chosen. So I don't know if that's a, you know, alignment. But yeah, I love to dance. I love to just, like I said, travel, see the world. So somebody that's very positive and yeah. But I'm on apps and stuff. I go on and I go off because I'm like, oof.
You talking about the dating apps?
Whew, Lord, yes. These dating apps, I'm telling you right now. I'm like,
why you won't go? Why you just won't do it old school?
I tried that
grocery store. You know what I'm saying? Church. Why you?
I tried. Well, we in the middle of a pandemic, so we got masks on and yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna start a series called The Single Pandemic. It's a whole beast out here. We're trying to. But I'm old school too. You know, I mean, I do try to go places and
Okay.
be out and about. But
Fellas, Nikki.speaks with an S, okay? Nikki.speaks, all right?
open for applications.
Yeah. What's the best place you didn't traveled? Where
Ooh.
the most relaxing or chill place when you was like, I just like this vibe in this place?
You know, it's LA. It's LA.
Say it again.
It's LA.
Say it
I
again.
could go. I've been many places, but LA's vibe, it's like a drug. I mean, it's just amazing. Like, just the whole vibe. I love how you can be yourself. Like, just show up.
Yeah.
You know, do you. Nobody's judging you. Nobody's talking about you. Nobody's putting you in a box.
Yes.
You know, completely express yourself. So when I lived there, I loved it. I was very active in the community. I was taking salsa classes, going to dances out there, going to the beach, you know, meeting different people. And so it's fun.
I love LA.
LA, yep.
Man.
I'm going to be out there in a couple weeks.
Me too. Well, no, back in a month. We going out.
Okay.
I'm going out there for my my cousin's wedding.
Okay.
Yeah, she getting married. So we're
Yeah.
going out there. I can't wait.
I
I just want to go out there for the weather. I just don't want to be hot.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I know. Because this Texas heat right now, I'm like, Lord.
Just don't want to be hot, man. Man, Nikki, thank you so much
Thank you.
for tapping in with us. I think this was great value that we
hope
brought
so.
to the people. You know what I mean?
I really hope so.
And if anybody want to get in touch with Nikki, that want to do any kind of mental health therapy, whether it's talking or it's, you know, plugging up to the neuro science for the brain, Nikki, Nikki.speaks. Make sure y'all get in contact with her. Anything you want to leave for the people, Nikki?
That's it. I mean, other than just, you know, if you feel that am I supposed to looking at you or?
Whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can look in the camera.
Okay.
That's your camera.
So if you feel that you need therapy, maybe you're going through a rough time. I know we're about to go into the holidays. So sometimes feelings of overwhelm will come into play, anxiety, stress, depression. If you have some PTSD going on, just reach out to me. And if I can't help you, I will be glad. And I mean glad to, connect you with someone that can help you in whatever you're dealing with in your journey. So I just want to say, be bold, be courageous. You can do it. And there's no stigmas here. As far as I'm concerned, I just want you to get the help that you need.
All right. Thank you. Have you met Ro? You know Ro Simmons?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I'm going to introduce you.
Please.
Yeah,
I would love
I'm
that.
going to introduce you. All right, yo, thank y'all for tapping in with us. This has been the Tap In Podcast, and don't forget, the getting is in the giving, y'all. The getting is in the giving. This has been the Tap In Podcast. Holla.